Are you tired of having terrible DPS on your team? Because I know I was. Do you know how you can become an amazing DPS? Learn the easy characters and be effective, and you will change your entire gameplay. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 that are extremely easy and effective. Moon Knight is an extremely valuable member for your team. He serves as a up high position as well as on the front lines position. He can throw his unks into choke points that can cause massive AoE damage as well as massive damage and kills for your team. As you can see here, his boomerangs, not only do they bounce off of your unks, they bounce off of targets and hit other targets. So he's a great counter for players like Namor that stand close to their turrets, or teams that play really close together. He fires 3 crescent darts per shot that do 25 damage per round. If you can land all 3, that's a total of 75 damage per click. Now, fall off begins at 30 meters, decreasing to 50% at 50 meters. This makes him easily hard to counter just due to the fact that he can sit way in the back and spam his boomerangs, hitting the team, bouncing off enemies, as well as he can stand up close, throwing his unks down and throwing just directly playing in his circle. And then obviously you see there, Thor just got absolutely melted. Top tier, he's going to be up there close to S tier just due to the fact that he's able to take so much control with his unks and he's able to do a massive amount of damage. He's got great maneuverability with his grapple as well as his double jump and his glide, so he's easily capable of escaping most bad situations. It's very easy to pick up. Skill cap isn't crazy, but it can go pretty high if you learn how to be creative with your unks and get more experience on him. We put down 13k damage this game. Comparing that to both the other teams, they didn't even come close. Number 2 on our list is going to be Iron Man. Super easy to pick up. He flies around forever. He's completely mobile and you can get out of fights extremely easy. His repulsor damage does huge AoE damage and splash damage to other enemies. As long as you can poke from a far distance, you will absolutely cook with him. You want to kind of play somewhat low with Iron Man just due to the fact that if you're really up high, it's hard for you to get into any cover and easy for a Hawkeye or a Hela to pick you off. So you want to play close to cover, kind of play your angles. As you can see, we're just putting rounds down range here, pushing that Luna back. She now has been cut off from the tank. Now they're down 1 support here. So now they have 3 supports for some reason, but obviously we're pushing them back there, right? The team is moving up. We're pushing them back, and Iron Man is being effective right now. Here's another example of how you want to play Iron Man. See, okay, so we're sitting here where we can move to our right if we get down or low in cover. We're able to take shots and kind of funnel here. So now we're going to go for their back line here. We're going to look for a invincible pulse cannon right now. Here we go. And I think we get 2 out of this. Yep, we get Star-Lord and Jeff. So now we're going to use his armor overdrive here. As you see, you press your E, and this will give you armor overdrive. And this does a lot more damage. And you can see it does a 5-meter radius splash damage here, right? We kind of got to pull back. Wait, there's a Scarlet who's trying to suck me off here. So now, with this armor overdrive, that Bucky ult, we're just doing a massive amount of AoE right now. So Iron Man, with this armor overdrive, right, he does a lot of damage, and I mean these guys are playing really close together and grouped up. Even with the enemy Luna out there, we buzzed them, and she didn't swap back to healing. Granted, she was on damage, but them playing close together like that is Iron Man's favorite thing because he can do so much damage to multiple people at one time. Playing him effectively is going to truly be able to your maneuverability here, right? We have this Scarlet who's chasing me down. Now I can get out of her beam range here, and then when I realized she looked, she said, "Oh, I need to back up," and that's when I capitalized on it here. Here's the sheer range of Iron Man right there, as you see. I mean, Iron Man can shoot from a completely super far distance, and you can be effective. So you don't have to be up with your team. You can also take care of your supports. You can be far enough back where you can see them and protect them. I'd give Iron Man probably like a B or an A rating just on a scale, just due to the fact that he doesn't do like a crazy amount of damage. He's not overpowered. If you get a good Hawkeye or a Hela, they're going to counter you very easily if you don't play smart. It's usually that's what they go to counter a good Iron Man. I don't play Iron Man very often, and he's, for me, not hard to pick up and be effective with. As you can see at the end of these game, we won. I was on a 10-player kill streak there, as you saw, and that was just poking, and I went 17-3 with 10k damage and was MVP of the lobby. So extremely easy hero to get effective with and be good with, and definitely recommend him, and that's why he's on this list. Here we go. Last but not least, Scarlet Witch. She is incredibly easy to play, and she's one of the strongest and easiest DPS probably in the game, if not the easiest. As you can see here, I'm absolutely draining these tanks.
What did he say?
Has Chaos Control as her left click. Her ultimate is one of the strongest if you can get it off. Her shift is Mystic Projection that allows her to go completely almost invisible, but it keeps her invulnerable. She can't receive healing when that comes though, but she is, as you can see, I can save myself here to get away with her Mystic Projection. Her Dark Seal E is an AoE control that almost acts like you're like lagging when you're in it, and it causes people to like stutter for a second and get stuck in it. And then Space is her telekinesis, which allows her to float to the ground as she's flying. And then her right click is called Chthonian Burst. It's similar to Iron Man's Repulsor. It does like a blast damage, and it can splash damage enemies. The fact that she has 2 of her Mystic Projections is crazy, because you can use one to almost go in on the enemy, and then you can use the other to escape and evade the enemy. And you know, Spider-Man's, everybody hates a good Spider-Man, and look what she just did to that Spider-Man. Now granted, he probably wasn't that good, but if you can keep your enemies close where Scarlet wants them, and you can throw your orbs, as you suck with her, or her drain, her Chaos Control, it actually recharges her right clicks, which is her Chthonian Bursts, and that helps. So you should always be throwing your bursts down range. Keep a couple, maybe one, and then continue to hold left click, and she will absolutely melt here. As you can see what she does to this Hulk right now, I mean, he's an ult and assisted with her team, obviously, but she melted that Hulk. And then Psylocke ults here, and we're able to escape it with our Mystic Projection. So she has great survivability. And then as you can see, we just threw in our Dark Seal, which causes everybody to it kind of shuts down a funnel point, because nobody wants to get stuck inside of it. This is what I mean about not dying in her ult, which we died trying to ult there, and Psylocke obviously just tracked us. I mean, you scream at the top of your lungs, and there's a red exclamation marker right all over your face. So you're very easy to spot, and you have to time it well. It's good to combo with maybe a Strange or a Portal, so or a Groot. So combinations in this game are huge, and they're going to help you out a lot if you're playing Witch. But that being said, though, she's extremely easy to pick up. Out of all 3 of these characters, she's probably the easiest. And if you're looking to get into DPS and want to be somewhat effective and not throw, then start playing Witch, and you'll learn her very quickly, and she's very easy to master. She doesn't take a lot of skill. All you gotta do is hold left click and spam right. Her ultimate being said, it is hard to use, but I see a lot of Scarlets who try to go for big team ults. If you can get maybe 1 or 2 and just increase our numbers a little bit, then that's huge. As you see here, my ult, I only hit Moon Knight, but it effectively helps us get that point to the end, and we win the game. Now, out of all 3 of these gameplays that I showed you guys, I did have the most damage in all 3 games, as you can see right there on the stats. So that's why I'm proving that these 3 DPS characters do an insane amount of damage, and they're completely effective, and they're easy to pick up. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay, and I hope you guys subscribe, and hopefully you learned something.